Oh my goodness. Candace Parker. What are you saying? Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. I just asked the question, Candace Parker, what are you saying? I also have the answer to my own question. She is saying the absolute truth. Candace Parker is saying what I said during the All-Star Game, what I said after the All-Star Game, and what I'm still getting a comment from somebody who's trying to push back against what I said. And what I said is what she said, and what she said is what I said, and what we both said is the absolute truth. Now, having said all that, we're going to go over to what she actually said. And she ain't even lying. So we're going to go to Twitter. It's an account called Krista. This is Post Moves with Candace Parker and Aliyah Boston. And this is a portion where they talk about the All-Star Game. Now, before I even hit the play button, I got to make sure everybody understands. This is Candace Parker, a legend in the WNBA. This is Candace Parker, who played for the one and only, my fave, always will be my fave, Coach Pat Summitt of Tennessee. Candace Parker speaks and people listen because she knows the game, because she knows the culture of the game, because she did some stuff, okay, in the game. So when she speaks, people listen, and not just in the WNBA, but when she speaks concerning the NBA, she's Candace Parker. And because she has that kind of credibility, people are tuned in. Now, some people say yes and amen to what she's saying, and other people have their feathers ruffled when she speaks because she's not just parroting what other people say. I may get back into that. I'm going to start this video and try not to stop too much along the way, if at all. I know some of you are like, don't do that. You don't like it. So I may have to stop, but I'm not going to stop too much. Let's go.
What it can bring about. So I think it was one of the best All-Star games for the, I won't say All-Star games, because the game, I'm going to be honest with you, Aliyah, it was awful. But
what do you mean?
The actual game? Are you kidding me? What you mean? What do I mean?
The vibes were high.
Leah, y'all, and hey, listen, I'm going to tell you, you don't have to say anything. So I'm going to preface, I'm going to be your vet. Don't say anything. But y'all cannot come out there with those shirts of pay us what you owe us. Or pay us what you owe us. And then do that in the All-Star game.
Here's the thing, though.
Here's the opportunity.
No, here's the thing. No. Here's the thing.
I'm going to let you finish, and then
I am going to stop here because we're going to get Aliyah Boston's perspective. She cuts Candace off. She wants to give her perspective. But if you watch Aliyah, you know that Aliyah doesn't even believe what Aliyah is saying. Aliyah was given the script that they all were given regarding this game. And Aliyah's going with the script. She doesn't believe what she's saying, but she's on her talking points. And so Candace says, okay, I'm going to let you talk. And then I'm going to tell you why you can't come out with those shirts and then play like you played.
We come out every single night and we show why we deserve the money we deserve. An all-star game where when we have another game in 2 days, I think that is okay to just go out there and hoop and have some fun. Because on Tuesday, we were back at it and we were playing and we were showing once again why we deserve to get paid. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
It wasn't the fact that you're doing something to prove why you have to be paid. I think it was just an opportunity to me on one of the biggest stages with those shirts being worn, everyone always talks about how the NBA does not play in All-Star games. But guess what? They come down, they do windmills, they do stuff like that, right? Women, I understand that it is challenging. You all were added 4 to 5 games more this season without compensation, which is unfair. But I think on one of the biggest stages with people tuned in in an all-star setting that was invested in more than any other all-star game previously, without Caitlin Clark, right? She was not playing. I think it was an opportunity to really go out there, and it was an added opportunity. It's not going to subtract anything, but I think the narrative on Monday would have been, well, how come the guys don't play in the All-Star game? How come these ladies come out there and they hoop and they understand their responsibility? Like, I just think that it would have really maximized the moment of wearing the shirt along with giving the product. Because I tried to watch the All-Star game, I'll be honest. But after one slow Euro step and people pulling up for I was like, I can't. I'm a fan of the WNBA and I can't watch this. So I just think that, no, you all didn't have to. But I think it was an opportunity that you could have built on, like, more momentum, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does make sense. But live, laugh, and love.
Leah just said, live, laugh, and love, which tells you right there, she knows that Candace is 100% on this. She knows. Now, let's unpack this a little bit. First, when Aliyah gets into, well, we got to play on Tuesday. This is Saturday. We got to play on Tuesday. Candace kind of bats her eye a little bit. She didn't go all in and say, like, suck it up. You're professionals. This is Candace Parker. This is the same young woman who played for Coach Pat Summitt in Tennessee. If you know anything about Coach Summitt, you know about Tennessee. Enough said right there. This is someone who came out and balled all the time. So she's just like, okay. But she did say, more games were added and you weren't compensated for it. Not fair. So she does concede that point to Aliyah. But what she's saying is what I said throughout the entire live stream of the All-Star game and what I said after the All-Star game. You're wearing a shirt that basically is saying we're worth more. Now, there are a plethora of opinions about whether they should get more money. Be that as it may, whatever that is, that's not even the issue. I myself am on record as saying that I may not agree with everything they say along those lines and how they say it, but I do believe that they have the right to advocate for themselves. That's Candace's point. So if you have the right to advocate for yourself, for me, it matters how you do it, and how they did it wasn't good. But Candace's point is this. You may say, well, this is an all-star game. And true, an all-star game is not played the way a regular season game is played or a playoff game is played. I warned you all of that who didn't know before the game. However, you generally play better than what we saw. And it's an opportunity is what Candace is saying and what I was saying. You are advocating for yourself. It's an all-star game. You have more eyeballs on you than ever before. And notice that Candace mentioned Caitlin Clark. Caitlin's not playing. In other words, there are people we know who don't want to watch if Caitlin Clark is not playing. Or they're not going to hang around if Caitlin Clark is not playing. So here is your opportunity to show what you can do and draw their attention, especially when you are saying, pay us what you owe us. And especially when you got the whole CBA thing going on in conjunction with the t-shirts, pay us what you owe us. And when you have eyeballs and when you have the main attraction not able to play, this is your opportunity to showcase what women can do. And like Candace said, I tried to watch the game. She said, I'm a fan of the WNBA, and even I couldn't watch the game. What is she saying? Those who are not fans, those who might be interested in seeing what you have going on, they're not even going to hang around for the full quarter. I'm a fan, she said, and I couldn't take the slow, notice that, Euro step, and then she cut herself off what she was saying and pulling up. She's pulling up for 4 after 4 after 4. It didn't do you any favors, and I appreciate her honesty. You all know I did the poll about what people thought of the game. People were mortified by the game, a huge portion. There was a tiny portion who I guess found a way to enjoy it, but a huge portion did not. Comments show what people actually thought about it. And Aliyah knows she was telling the truth. You have to capitalize on moments. This is about moments. This is about opportunities. And I understand perhaps that younger people don't get it, or people who don't understand business may not get it. Candace Parker understands those things. She understands this is the moment, represent. It was already, and then she points this out. This was probably, we caught that clip began as she was already making a point, and she was saying this was like one of the best. It sounds like she was saying all-star, and she said game, and that's when she had to stop, because the game itself on Saturday was horrible. She's saying some of the other things going on. Indiana did a great job with that, and so she was pointing that out. But the game, and that was supposed to be the culmination, horrible. And from my perspective, when you go to Friday night, you had the skills competition. Again, you are talking about pay what you're owed. And then you have Erica Wheeler, whom I like, and lots of Fever fans really like and appreciate. And some even said, we wish she was still here. But she just flat out missed the layup. No defense, just going for the layup to end her skills competition. She just misses the layup. Then you have Natasha Cloud, who actually won the skills competition. It came down to her and Erica Wheeler. Natasha Cloud, because of the rules, not her fault, she actually misses 3 times in one spot, and then gets to move on to the next spot and ends up winning after missing. So without demonstrating the skill there, you actually won the competition. So you already have those deficits that you're dealing with people looking. So at least for the All-Star game, from a business perspective and from a fan perspective, you want to give it everything you got. You're not, well, let me backtrack. You're not going to give it everything you got like you see in other games. But like she said, which is what I was saying during the live stream, you're not going to come down. If you can't dunk, you're obviously not going to dunk. But the men at least do other things. So the women could make it interesting. And in the history of All-Star games, you might play some weak defense, unless it's getting prepared for the Olympics like last year. You might play some weak defense, but you're doing something that keeps people engaged. You're competing. And then generally toward the end, they do tend to go all out in competition because they generally want to win. What they gave us, I don't know if they were trying to make some kind of statement or whatever, but it wasn't good. I've already said all these things before, but hearing her say it and being willing to say it, I think is good, because people needed to hear it. And Aliyah wasn't really arguing with her. She ended with what, live, laugh, and love, or however she said it, because she knew it was the truth. It's going to be interesting to see what we get from Candace Parker. She's already facing some heat because of some rating of Angel Reese. I'll take care of that in a different video. So, well, what she said right there was kind of funny, because truth tends to be the funniest thing of all. And 100%, 100%, 100%. And we about to get some more 100% from Candace Parker. I will catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.